So I have a question, and then I want to get to the biblical question. How many of you still deal with fear sometimes and emotions and stuff like that? Sometimes. You still deal with it sometimes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had a women's forum this past Thursday. It was dynomite. So let me see the hands again. Oh, okay. Why don't you just drop your fear and emotions?
I kind of, I drop it, but like they are really overwhelming. Like I know that I have to drop it and I drop it, but it's a kind of noise in my mind. It's really noisy. And I look at them, it's noisy, I look at them, but they don't become quiet. There's still this noise, really, really loud.
And they
noise.
don't become quiet, and what do you do when they don't become quiet?
Sometimes I get lost in it, so I go back to it. And sometimes I just look at them for really, really long time, maybe days or something, like something that is just repeating in my mind.
Oh, okay.
But I still look at them and I recognize they're just voices, but they are so loud, so powerful in a certain way, they just stay there.
And what do you feel sometimes when you listen to those songs? What type of emotions you get?
Terrible, like sometimes terrible, like I feel like dirty. And
do you get anger and fear and
anger? No,
worry?
but I just look at them and I say I shouldn't be looking at them. So I kind of pissed off with myself somehow.
And why don't you just drop it all and be done with it?
It's just something like in the background noise. So I drop it, but I still listen to it.
And why?
I'm not really listening, but I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you drop your fear? Why don't you drop your thoughts and fear and emotions, whatever you get?
I think it's more about fear.
Speak up for me.
I think it's more about fear rather than emotions or anger.
And why don't you drop the fear?
Because they're overwhelming. But usually what happens is that if I coexist with them long enough, I start to ignore them.
Okay.
But I mean, they're still there.
And what is preventing you from just being free of it?
I guess not having trained myself enough to get over it. I think it takes time. It's just I never really face it like directly, and just kind of start to
you think
ignore
it takes time?
I guess so. I have no idea how to just drop it all of a sudden because it's been there.
Oh, okay. Amazing. The young man in the back. You had your hair that, right? And why don't you just drop your thoughts and feelings?
I mean, I can guess maybe I'm just too attached to behaving that way for so long. It's like a habit. But I have noticed the difference now is when it comes, there's times where I'm actually laughing. Like it's almost like you caught somebody.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I see what you're doing here. It's sort of like that. Now, why I don't drop it, I think that's my best answer. I'm probably working towards it, but it's like quitting smoking or something almost.
Give me an example. And you don't have to go person, but give me an example of the type of thoughts and feelings you get at times.
Okay, so let's just say an interaction at work that goes a certain way, you're not sure.
Yeah.
Then they come. The thoughts will come for you. And they give you the worst case scenario, create, like, you almost start to worry, you almost start to overthink. And those are the things that I see now clearly. Okay, that's all a lie, that's all emotion. There's no way that this is a fact, what's being put in your head.
Right.
And so I'm in the process, and it's definitely going better. I just go, I see what that is, and I just let it go like a cloud of smoke. Just let it pass me by.
Oh, okay. And what is preventing you from dropping it totally so you don't have to deal with it anymore?
I don't know. I really don't. Because sometimes I don't see it. Sometimes I'm driving in my car and bam. And it's almost like the punch you don't see.
All right.
And I'm like, now, oh. And then after, I'm like, man, I was in that way too long.
Okay.
So one time I can see it coming and I can move. The next time I'm already in it, and then whoa, what's going on here? I need to.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand that. Amazing. Did you have your hand? Okay. Why don't you just drop your thoughts and feelings?
Okay. I think that sometimes it's like in a weird way comforting. I know that sounds weird, but it's like,
I understand that.
you know, whenever like I'll be driving and everything will be going great, and then I'm like, man, I feel like I should be worried about something. And so I'll come home and tell my dad, I feel like I should be worried about something, and you know, he'll tell me like, don't trust your thoughts and stuff. But like at this point, it's more of a comfort thing because I'm like, if I'm worrying about something or if I'm doing that, then I don't know, in a way I find comfort in it. And then even though it doesn't usually end up happening, like flying here, I was worried because we flew from Texas. And I was like, the plane's going to crash and I'm going to die and like everything's going to go terrible. And the plane didn't crash and I didn't die, but next time I fly, I'll probably feel the same way. And it's like, it's almost like a comfort thing at this point. So I don't really know how to get rid of it because it's like when you have like a pacifier when you're younger and you're like comforted by it.
Right.
In a way, that's what it does for me, I guess.
So sometimes thoughts and pain feel comforting to you.
Yeah, it sounds weird, right?
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, I know.
But I understand why you thought you were gonna die on the plane.
Yeah.
Because I got on the plane and I saw a female pilot. I thought it was over.
Yeah.
I was like, this is my last flight. Then I found out the man was driving. It wasn't her. Do you believe it's possible to live without that at all?
Without like the feelings of like being anxious and stuff?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
I think it is. I think it's hard for me sometimes. Like I ask my dad a lot, like, because he'll say like, you know, you'll know in the moment like what to do and stuff, so don't stress about it. But sometimes I doubt whether or not like the voice that I'm hearing is from God or from like my head.
Right.
So then I'm just like going back and forth, like, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? Instead of just like your producer was talking about earlier, now he just sees things and does it.
Right.
And I have a hard time seeing things and do it. I'm just like, okay, should I or should I not?
Well, the one thing I want you to know is that, how old are you now?
18.
18. That's amazing. One thing I want you to know is that God is never going to talk to you in your head. None of your thoughts are from God. Just know that.
Okay.
And that way, the devil can make you think, oh, well, this one is from God.
Yeah.
It's not. Somebody told me recently that they used to think that God would talk to them in their dreams. When they sleep and they have dreams, they thought that was from God. And a lot of people think that way. And those dreams are just left over from during the day when you are unconscious. Because you're not catching all those thoughts during the day, you're unconscious. When you go to bed at night, you're still going to be dreaming those same things that you'll be thinking if you were awake during the day. And it's not from God, but some people think it's from God. They be trying to figure out, oh, that dream last night was from God. And God had nothing to do with it. It was from the devil, and it come from unconsciousness. So that's why I encourage people to pray, to be conscious all the time, so that when you do go to sleep, you'll sleep like a baby because you wouldn't be having those dreams. You got to catch those thoughts.
Yeah.
So just know that they are not from God. When the devil tell you that about this is a good one, it's not. God will reveal things to you. It'll be clear. You're right. It's like what Sean was saying earlier. You would just know what to do without having to think about it. You just do it.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
Amazing. Did I see your hand? Okay. And then over here. Why don't you just drop those thoughts and feelings?
I don't really have an answer to that. It is like the gentleman was just saying, it's like a background noise that always it exists. And I'm just trying to stay conscious of it and watch it. But yeah, I don't think I know how to, or maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like sometimes I have, and I know I shouldn't be doing it. Sometimes I'm worried about the future, or what I'm 5 years, or what am I going to get in 5 years, or where I'm going to be in 10 years, 20 years. And I'm like, why am I even worrying about that? So yeah, just crazy stuff like that.
And what does that worry feel like when you do it?
Builds up anxiety. It's
Yeah.
like, man, I have to be doing this, or am I on the right path, or should I be doing that? So, yeah, it's anxiety, it's fear, it's all those emotions.
Amazing. Okay. And do you believe it's possible to just drop it and not have to deal with it?
I do.
You
I
do believe
think-
it is possible?
I think it is.
But you just won't do it.
I don't know if I just won't do it. I don't know how to.
You don't know how. I get.
No,
Oh,
don't.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing.